Yo, it's your boy Wolf Sage, aka Daydream Wolf, and we're back at it again. Welcome to Escape the World, the most interactive escape room in the world. Let's get right into it. Escape room tip number one: play with people you know and trust. Choosing a good team is the difference between winning and losing a game. Know what type of player you are and build your team to complement your strengths. If you can't work with them in a private setting, it's best that you don't lock yourself in a room with them. All right, you guys, you need to know what type of player you are, and you need to build a team around you. You need to be able to build a team that can complement your strengths. You can't win if you can't work with them in a private setting. I don't think you should play with them in a closed setting, all right? So always remember, I've seen plenty of rooms out here. I've seen plenty of teams, plenty of people come into escape rooms and they come with the wrong person or group. I've had plenty of teams with that didn't want to ask for any clues when clues were offered, didn't win. I've had plenty of teams where one or two people didn't want to help, they didn't win. I've had a lot of teams where people just didn't connect, they didn't mesh, they didn't work together and use the teamwork that we tell them to use, and they don't work. So do not stress yourself by creating the wrong team. It's not worth it. It's a waste of money and time. And trust me, you don't want to come out of escape room after a whole hour and some change, or even less, and hate each other. I tell people all the time when I come into the room, hey, do we still like each other? Does anyone need to take the bus home? We all came together, but like we haven't heard each other at all. Because that's how it is. I've seen plenty of families where the parents taught their daughter how to read a clock, how to tell time, and they themselves didn't even know so well. But at the end of the game, when I told them, yeah, she was right, you could just feel the energy. It just separated them from there. So I always tell people, work with people you like, work with people you know. Do not work with sore losers. It never goes well, you guys. I always want to put people in the position to be able to win. You got to be able to put yourself in a position to be able to win. You're in there for 60 minutes solving clues, puzzles. Bring someone that knows math, knows how to tell time, knows how to, use common sense. Because some people, it's just not in them, and you don't want to be associated with those people. And not to say those are bad people, your friends and whatnot, but these are group activities. These are things that you are spending your time, money on, and you want to have a good experience. This is supposed to be a fun time. You don't want no party poopers. You don't want anyone that's going to, cast a dark cloud over the gang, over the team. Like, choose your players wisely. That's all I got to say. Choose your team wisely. People you know and trust. Escape room tip number two: make sure your team is the right size, you guys. This is very important. A lot of escape rooms are mostly made for groups of 4 or more players. Unless it is stated that 1 or 2 players are enough, we recommend that you bring the minimum amount of players or the max. So if a room says we have a minimum of 4 players that can be in here, but they say the max players is 12 people, you got to put, from the first tip, you got to put your team together and then know, hey, can us 4 be able to do this room? Can we be able to work together and do what we need to do, or do we need more people? And it's just really what's comfortable with yourself, because I know a lot of people, especially couples, they don't really have a big friend group, so they're mostly looking for stuff to do with each other. That is perfectly fine, but most of the times these rooms are made for 4 or more. Sometimes 2 heads need more. if that's a quote. That's always the thing, you guys. You always want to be able to put yourself in the position to be able to win. Remember, the less hands on deck there are, the harder the room will be to solve. Okay, that's all I really got to say. You got to be able to have people that can be able to work on one clue while we got 5 others, because remember, time is ticking. So you'll end up spending like 15-20 minutes on one clue, and then you'll look up and you realize you got 8-10 more clues to go through. So if you spend 15 minutes on 10-20 clues and stuff, I don't think you're going to get out in 60 minutes. And that's just the truth. I want you guys to be able to have fun, to be able to do what you need to do, and to be able to get out here and not waste your money, really. It's really about not wasting your money, especially if you're going out to have fun. You don't want to feel like, hey, this was a waste of time. The people I brought or weren't good enough. The people that I brought weren't good enough, or the game just wasn't there. We didn't have enough people, and we end up wasting a whole hour doing nothing. And that's what I see a lot. I see a lot of people just waste their time doing nothing in the room, and it's real hard to see people. It's real hard to see a team in one of the hardest rooms that requires 10 people, but they only brought them and another person. And that's another thing I always tell people: do not bring couples. Do not bring your significant other to a room that's made for 10 people, because unless you want to fight, argue, get frustrated, so many other things. I've had rooms where people walked in and they're like, I don't want to do this. Dates, I'm talking dates, where the guy paid for all of it, $100, $200 for this room, whatnot, and then they didn't either show up or they didn't want to go. So it's all connects. Finding the right people and finding the right amount of people. It always counts, you guys. Escape room tip number 3: listen to your teammates or else. Okay, I don't know what else to say, but you have to listen to your teammates, you guys. We know that one person who will not ask for any clues or listen to others, well, that person is going to drag you down, guys. We all have them. We all know that person, the one that says, hey, I got this, you guys. I can do this. I don't need no help. Screw getting clues. We're going to do this ourselves. Oh, I don't care. It's 15 minutes left and we still got a whole nother room to do. Like, no. Those people will drag you down. Those people will lead you to failure, because the best thing that you can do is listen to other people. There's only just you isn't going to be able to solve all these clues. Just me isn't going to be able to solve all these clues. Like I said with the last tip, if you're able to find a team where you can have multiple people be able to work on multiple things, it'll always help out, because you'll be able to conquer and divide. That's probably one of the other tips that's coming up, but that's the whole process of it. You got to be able to figure out, hey, who's stronger at this, who can work at this. You need to listen to all these different options, and you need to have it where people can feel like they can be able to come to you if they need to ask for help, or get like a situation like, do you think this is work? I have this idea. Do you think I can be able to do this? Do you think this will be able to happen or work? Those possibilities. So the worst thing you can do in a team setting in an escape room is not take any notes of what your teammates are saying or telling you, because you, as that one person, you're not going to be able to see everything. You're not going to be able to notice everything. If you're working on one clue, that is the clue that you are focused on. But with having everyone around and your teammates going around and either finding clues or looking at what you're doing and trying to see, hey, is there something I could be able to, see that he doesn't see or that they don't see? Like different possibilities. We always have to take these notes, you guys. These are team building exercises. We need to work together using our mind, bodies, and using our spirits to actually keep up in the game. You don't want to be tired out, pooped. No one wants a powder in a pouty pout in a room. No one wants that person. So always remember, listen to your teammates. They are there to help you. Okay. Remember, teammates make the dream work, and you can't win all by yourself. This is a great point, you guys, because you cannot. I have not, in my time of doing escape rooms, I have not met one person that was able to get out an escape room by themselves without no help. Nah. Maybe at different escape rooms they can be able to do it, but for mine, where it requires teammates and it requires you to do this, do that, put this on that person, divvy out responsibilities and duties, one person cannot do this. So always, everyone, get your teamwork, be your team together, and listen to your team. Okay? Listen to them. Escape room tip number 4: yell out what you find to your group. Okay? This is very important, you guys. Every time you're going through the escape rooms and you guys are gathering stuff and you guys are looking and finding and lifting stuff up, looking under stuff, you always got to communicate with your teamwork. Communicate what you guys found, what it is that you think you need to do, what it is that you have done already, and just take tally. I always tell people, write down stuff. Write down stuff, especially if you don't feel like telling everyone, just write it all down. It always helps. A lot of times teams split up and work on separate clues. We call this divide and conquer. Now for tip number 4, a lot of teams will split up, work on separate clues, and we call this divide and conquer. This is exactly what I was saying in the last tips. You always got to divide and conquer, okay? A team will help you do that. If you're in a room that's 60 minutes and you got 20 clues, and these clues aren't just putting puzzles together or doing simple math and everything, you are going to have to need people. You're going to need people to divide and conquer. They're going to have to figure out what they need to do, how they need to do it, and then we're going to communicate with each other and say, hey, I did this. Did you do that? Okay, I'm gonna do that. Did you do this? Okay, finish that. It's all a process, you guys. It's all a process. And then remember this, although while one group is working on another clue, the others found a useful hint but didn't say anything. Now, for people that do this, a lot of people will, and I've seen this, you guys, I've seen this so many times. As an escape artist, this is just hilarious because I'll be watching and I'll be seeing people find clues, find codes, find this, find that, and then they won't tell a soul. And then as soon as I get on mic and I tell them, hey, you guys, didn't you find this? Or, hey, did you find that? Or, oh, you opened this up. What did they give you? And then this is what I get. This is what I get, you guys. I get, we didn't, I found it a long time ago. You didn't do anything about it? No, I just found it. I put it down, you know. You didn't tell anyone about it though? No. And it's been 15, 20 minutes. And then their other teammate is looking at them like, well, dude, like we had the key. We had what you found. You found the key and we found the box. Why didn't you think we need to use it? So always, this is what I'm saying, communicate with your team. This happens so many times and it's so embarrassing, you guys, okay? And be sure to yell out anything important in the game so your group can be able to know what it is that's going on, okay? Like always yell it out. Always, even if you guys are writing stuff out, just say, hey, I found this. Hey, I found that. Hey, I solved this. I did that. This code went into here. Because this is another thing. I've seen plenty of groups where, hey, if one person is off to the side and they've been working on this one puzzle and they haven't been able to pay attention to everything else, as soon as they're done with that puzzle and they go around, start being like, hey, oh, was this used? And oh, this used? And oh, that used? They start using so many different codes that have already been used. That's a waste of time. Why? Do not do that, you guys. It is a waste of time. It's not going to help you. It is only going to deter you. Okay? The goal is to win every time. The goal is to work together and win. So don't put yourself in situations where you and your team are looking at each other like you don't know what's going on. Okay? Escape room tip number 5. Don't be afraid to pass the baton. Okay? Guys, I've done track before. Okay. If you didn't know anything about me, I did track. And let me tell you, even doing the running and passing the baton thing, it works out. I've seen plenty of people, like I wasn't doing really the baton, like passing it. I think I did it like once or twice or something. I can't remember if that's a 200, 300 run or, whatever. On 300 dash run or some shit like that. I don't remember. But as far as passing the baton, it is the same process because when I'm running and I can't make it the full way, there's always going to be someone at the end of my race, at the end of my, distance that's I want to be able to pass that baton to. And that's what you guys need to do in a group setting. Okay. So as for tip number 5, there is a time limit and a lot of people will spend most of their time working on one clue. All right. There's a limited amount of time. Do not work on one clue, you guys. OK, especially if you have a team. If you've done what we've said in the last tips and everything, if you have your right team together, you guys should not be focusing on one clue for majority of the game. It should be this one, that one, that one over there. And that's the whole thing about passing the baton. If you are working on this one clue and you can't get it, be like, hey, bro, come over here. You do this. Or, hey, sis, come over here. You do this. I can't do it. I can't figure it out. Or someone help me. If you guys are solving a puzzle and you're like, hey, I've been working through this puzzle for like what feels like 5 hours right now. I can't do it anymore. Tap out. go away, try something different, and then maybe you can come back and get a fresher view of it. Maybe you'll have clear eyes, a clear vision. You've looked around the room and now you're able to look at this clue differently now. So always remember, pass the baton, okay? All right, this is important. Do not do this if you can't solve, do not do this. Do not do this. If you can't solve a problem, pass it on to another teammate. They may see something you can't. All right? Yeah, they may see something you can't, you guys. That's always the case. I see so many people where they've been working on this slide puzzle for so long, for 15, 20, 30 minutes. And as soon as someone else gets on it, they're like, oh, I see this. Oh no, you put this right here. That's why it's always a good thing to ask people what their strengths is, because you don't want to put the person that can't do math on the math equation. You don't want the person who can't do puzzles on the puzzle equation. It's just not going to help anyone. It's not. You guys are going to be fumbling around doing this and that, and it's only going to make it harder for you guys. So just avoid it. Just avoid it. It'll all help out in the end. Okay. All right. So this is something I need you guys to realize. This is a team building activity. This game is made for you to depend on others. So do it. Use them. All right. There's no reason for you guys to, especially in a room, I know there's certain escape rooms where they're like, hey, we're competing against each other. You know, you get out if I get out. No, that's only works if you guys are doing 2 separate rooms. When you're in one room, you guys are a team. You guys need to work together. You guys need to use each other's strengths, compliment on each other's strengths, and then make sure you know each other's weaknesses so you can be able to avoid all that. Okay, you guys, this is a game. We got to be able to win. This is escape rooms. We got to be able to win this, all right? Escape the world. No one's going to be doing this at my escape room, all right? Work together. Hey, you. If you like this clip, please like, subscribe, comment, hit that bell, stay notified, share it with something. This is my tip, yo. I'm your clue master. You better leave me a tip. But most appreciative. Catch y'all later. Peace.